The search for a new Rangers manager has taken yet another twist, and this time it's a name that few, if any, saw coming. While fans had been bracing themselves for a predictable shortlist of domestic candidates or familiar faces from within the British football circuit, a shock development has thrown everything into the air. After weeks of uncertainty, speculation, and dead-end negotiations, Rangers are now being linked with a managerial candidate who once led one of the biggest clubs in the world and even scored one of the most iconic goals in Champions League history. That's right, all signs are now pointing towards Ole Gunnar Solskjær being in the frame for the Ibrox hot seat. It's a revelation that's stunned the Rangers fanbase and has the potential to drastically change the direction of the club's future. The Norwegian, best known for his time in charge of Manchester United and, of course, that last-minute winner in the 1999 Champions League final, is not the sort of name you expect to pop up in a Scottish Premiership managerial race. Yet here we are. The news first leaked in an almost accidental moment during a podcast chat featuring Paul Scholes and Nicky, but where Scholes, clearly caught off guard, appeared to confirm that Solskjær had met with Rangers representatives in London. When pressed on it, Scholes got visibly nervous, offered a cheeky no comment, and admitted that the conversation was making his palms sweat, a moment that pretty much confirmed everything without officially saying a word. If there's any truth to this, it represents a seismic shift in the level of ambition at Ibrox. Solskjær might not be everyone's cup of tea, but let's be honest, bringing in someone who's managed Manchester United, guided them to a second-place finish in the Premier League, and reached a Europa League final, is not a move you make unless you're serious about restoring Rangers to their former glory. His style of play, focused on quick transitions and counter-attacking football, would be a major departure from the possession-heavy approach under Russell Martin, a style that never quite clicked with the Ibrox faithful. Martin's reign was short, unpopular, and marked by tactical rigidity and a lack of intensity that simply didn't align with the identity Rangers supporters demand from their side. And yet, the potential arrival of Solskjær is only one piece of the chaos currently unfolding behind the scenes at Rangers. Ever since the departure of Russell Martin, the board, led by Andrew Kavanagh and the 49ers ownership group, has been scrambling to find the right man for the job. At one point, all signs pointed to a Steven Gerrard return, and early discussions even suggested things were progressing well. But just as fans were starting to warm up to the idea of a Gerrard homecoming, he suddenly pulled out of the race, reportedly feeling that the timing wasn't right. According to former striker Chris Boyd, there's still a chance Gerrard could come back, but it won't be easy, and certainly not cheap. Boyd hinted that Gerrard may be playing a clever game of leverage, possibly forcing the board into reshaping the club's internal structure to make his return more appealing. He even suggested there could be a power struggle at play, especially given the recent tension involving key figures like Kevin Thelwell and Patrick Stewart. Gerrard is a man who demands control, and if he senses friction at the executive level, that could easily push him away. Boyd went as far as saying Rangers might need to go back to Gerrard with the begging bowl if they fail to secure one of their other targets. A sobering thought considering the stakes and the pressure the club is under right now. But it's not just Gerrard or Solskjær on the radar. The club has reportedly considered a host of candidates across Europe and the UK, including names like Danny Roll of Sheffield Wednesday, Derek McInnes, Slaven Bilic, and even Swiss coach Raphael Wicke. Roll in particular is seen as a progressive young manager with a clear tactical identity, someone who could build something long-term at Ibrox. On the other hand, Bilic brings experience and a no-nonsense attitude, having managed Croatia, West Ham, and most recently a stint in the Saudi Pro League. His name has surfaced in conversations before and could offer a more seasoned alternative to some of the younger, less proven candidates. Still, none of these discussions are happening in a vacuum. The club's internal structure is being heavily scrutinized, and one figure who finds himself at the center of the storm is Kevin Thelwell. Brought in from Everton to oversee football operations, Thelwell's tenure so far has been, frankly, a disaster. His summer recruitment has been slammed from all sides, with supporters and insiders alike calling out poor transfer decisions, a lack of clear strategy, and ultimately the appointment of a manager who was doomed from the start. Russell Martin never felt like a Rangers manager, and his swift exit only underscored just how far off the mark Thelwell was. Now, Reports suggest that Thelwell's role in the ongoing managerial hunt has been significantly reduced. Key decisions are reportedly being taken out of his hands, with senior figures at Ibrox no longer willing to trust his judgment after such a turbulent few months. It's a move that reflects the growing desperation within the club to get this next decision right. Fans have lost patience, the board is clearly under pressure, and failure to land a suitable manager could send the club further into turmoil, both on and off the pitch. To make matters worse, it's not like Rangers are operating from a position of strength. This is a team that needs a reset, not just tactically, but mentally. The dressing room appears fractured, the fanbase is divided, and the club's direction feels murky at best. Whoever steps into the managerial role will have an enormous job on their hands. It's not just about winning football matches. It's about rebuilding trust, restoring identity, and proving that Rangers are still a force to be reckoned with in both domestic and European competition. Whether that man is Solskjær, Gerrard, Roll, or someone else entirely, one thing is clear. The room for error is now non-existent. And yet, despite all the noise and uncertainty, there's still a sliver of optimism among the support. The idea of a bold appointment, someone with pedigree and presence, could light a fire under the club and give supporters something real to believe in again. Solskjær might not be universally loved by Manchester United fans, but there's no denying that he handled enormous pressure, brought through talented youngsters, and steadied the ship during one of that club's most volatile periods. He knows what it's like to carry the expectations of millions on his shoulders, and in that sense, he might just be exactly what Rangers need right now. As the days go by and no announcement is made, the tension only continues to rise. Every rumor, every cryptic podcast slip-up, and every failed negotiation adds another layer of pressure to a situation that is already approaching breaking point. This is no longer just about finding a new manager. This is about the future of Rangers Football Club. And if the board get this wrong again, the fallout could be catastrophic. While the potential arrival of a high-profile name like Ole Gunnar Solskjær might excite some sections of the support, there's a growing sense that the club's deeper. Issues won't be solved by a glamorous appointment alone. The current mess at Ibrox is not just about who stands in the technical area. It's about a leadership vacuum, fractured trust between board and fans, and a football operation that looks increasingly out of sync with the identity Rangers are meant to represent. The appointment of Russell Martin, a manager whose style never matched the club's values, was the first glaring misstep. But the real damage has been done in the months that followed, as indecision, miscommunication, and flat-out errors have left Rangers lurching from one crisis to the next. Internally, all eyes are now on Kevin Thelwell. Once seen as the man to modernize the football department, Thelwell's position is hanging by a thread. His influence has been steadily eroded, and according to sources close to the club, he is no longer driving the search for the next manager. That responsibility has reportedly shifted to other senior figures within the Ibrox hierarchy, who have grown frustrated with Thelwell's handling of recent appointments and transfer strategy. The idea was that he'd come in, implement a clear football vision, and help build a sustainable long-term model. Instead, what the club got was a disjointed squad, a failed managerial gamble, and a loss of faith from the fans. Supporters are not just angry, they're exhausted. They've watched as rivals have strengthened their squads and taken strides forward, while Rangers have fumbled through another rebuild that already looks flawed. The lack of urgency, the apparent confusion behind the scenes, and the absence of any real communication from the board have created an atmosphere of deep mistrust. The appointment of the next manager is not just a footballing decision, it's a reputational one. Get it wrong again, and the board could find themselves under even more intense scrutiny from a fan base that's already at boiling point. It's in this climate that talks with names like Slaven Bilic and Raphael Wicke have gained traction. Both are vastly different options. Bilic, with his fiery personality and no-nonsense approach, would bring a level of passion and intensity that some feel has been missing. He's not afraid to speak his mind. He knows how to handle egos, and he's been in big dressing rooms before. He may not be seen as a long-term builder, but he's certainly someone who can walk into chaos and demand order. Wicke, on the other hand, represents a more methodical, developmental path. A coach who has worked extensively with youth systems, most notably with the United States under-20 side. and someone who has earned praise for his tactical intelligence. Then there's Danny Roll, perhaps the most interesting name on the list. At just 35 years old, Roll is already making waves at Sheffield Wednesday. His football is energetic, tactically disciplined, and mirrors some of the high-pressing systems seen in modern German coaching. He worked under Hansi Flick with the German national team and brings a clear identity that many believe Rangers have been lacking. The question with Roll isn't talent, it's readiness. Can someone that young, that early in their managerial journey, really take on the pressure cooker that is Ibrox? Would he be given the time needed to implement his ideas, or would he be chewed up by the unforgiving nature of the Scottish game? And hovering above all these names, still lingering like a shadow, is Steven Gerrard. His name alone carries weight, and for many supporters, he still represents the last time Rangers felt truly united on and off the pitch. His Premiership title win, ending Celtic's quest for 10 in a row, is etched in club history. But there's a growing belief that if Gerrard does return, it must be under very different terms. He'll want full control, a reshaped hierarchy, and assurances that the mistakes of the past won't repeat themselves. That kind of deal doesn't happen quickly or cheaply. The club's hesitation to meet those demands, or perhaps their failure to create the right environment in the first place, is what's opened the door to these alternative candidates. And with Solskjær now in the mix, things have only become more unpredictable. Some insiders believe the Norwegian is genuinely interested in the role, despite the apparent step down in profile. After all, Solskjær has always been drawn to projects where he feels he can build something meaningful. Rangers, with their passionate fanbase, rich history, and desperate need for a stabilizing figure, could appeal to that side of him. He knows what it's like to inherit a fractured squad and bring some sense of unity. He did it at Manchester United in the wake of a toxic dressing room. But whether the board has the ambition and resources to support him properly is another matter entirely. And all of this, the managerial saga, the boardroom tension, the crumbling trust, is playing out against the backdrop of a team that is still expected to challenge for trophies. There is no pause button in Scottish football. Celtic are not slowing down. The league continues, Europe beckons, and every week, without a manager, feels like another step backwards. Whoever takes this job walks into a dressing room in need of leadership, a squad in need of identity, and a support in need of belief. That is a heavy burden, even for someone with Solskjær's experience. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. Whispers across the continent have been growing louder this week, and it seems we might be on the brink of witnessing a transfer that's got more than a few tongues wagging in the footballing world. Welsh winger Rabbi Matondo, the young star who's been turning heads with his pace and flair, is reportedly edging ever closer to a move to League One's Rennes. While nothing has been made fully official yet, sources close to the player hint that an announcement could be imminent, and the French club are said to be finalizing the details as we speak. Matondo, who's seen spells in the English leagues that have shown glimpses of his electric potential, appears ready for a fresh challenge across the channel. Rennes, a side known for nurturing talent and providing a stage for players to blossom in a competitive league, seem to have set their sights firmly on the 22-year-old winger. If the deal goes through, it wouldn't just be another transfer. It could signal Rennes' intent to make waves this season and perhaps even punch above their weight in European competitions. The buzz around this possible signing has been building steadily. Fans on social media are already speculating about how Matondo's direct running and sharp dribbles might complement Rennes' attacking style. Some pundits have suggested this could be the ideal environment for him to rediscover consistency and confidence, while others quietly mutter that the French side's reputation for developing youthful flair might be exactly what Matondo needs at this stage of his career. Despite the excitement, a degree of caution remains. Transfers are tricky beasts, and whispers don't always translate into confirmed deals. Yet, when multiple insiders hint at a move, and Rennes are said to be actively ironing out the final points, it's hard not to feel that something big is on the horizon. Football circles in France and the UK are watching closely, ready for that official stamp. In the meantime, speculation rages. Will Matondo adapt quickly to the French game? Can Rennes turn him into a star of League One? Only time will tell, but for now, fans are buzzing with anticipation. One thing is clear. Should this deal be confirmed, the transfer window will have delivered yet another headline-grabbing move, and all eyes will be on Rennes, waiting to see how this promising talent settles into a new league and a new chapter in his career. Greetings, fans. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.